Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another video. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and today we're going to be talking about job quests. Now, the reason I wanted to bring up this topic is because recently I've been leveling up a couple of additional jobs for my character. I leveled up a scholar, then I leveled up a warrior, and now I'm addicted to warrior because it's a really fun class to play. But as I was going through the leveling process, naturally I spammed quite a few dungeons because that's one of the most efficient ways for you to get EXP. And as I was going through these dungeons, I noticed quite a few people that weren't doing their job quests. I'm talking about level 40 archers, level 50 thaumaturges, and so on and so forth. And I believe that the reasoning behind this is because we recently had the expansion of the trial, as I've been talking about in a lot of my videos. And so there's a lot of newcomers to the game, and maybe they're getting a little bit overwhelmed with all the different types of quests that you can do, and main scenario quests, and doing dungeons, and you know, they're just getting immersed, and that's cool. That's cool, but I would like to point out, like, if you're one of these new players and maybe you've done a dungeon and someone told you in that dungeon, hey, you should probably do your job quest. Like, they're not trying to be mean, at least in most cases. Players aren't trying to be mean when they say this. They're trying to get you to, like, hey, you should go do your job quest because that's going to move your class forward. It's going to give you new abilities to work with. It's going to give you, like, actual key abilities for your class that you should start to learn how to use so that you can learn how to play your class better in the long run. And so I figured that for those players, maybe we'd have like a resource here where I kind of go over a couple of the topics in regards to the job quests and why you should do them as soon as you can. Now, it's not like it's a super emergent thing like you're level 25 or whatever and the quest pops up and you're like, oh, stop everything I'm doing. I got to go do my class quest right now. But at certain key levels, you definitely want to be like, okay, I'm level 30. I should probably go do my job quest now because, you know, I'm going to get access to a whole new toolkit. In some cases, even I'm going to get access to like something that changes your role. Which is actually some cases, like one case, which is the Arcanist, I think. But yeah, it is very important for you to do your job quest. So the starting classes of Final Fantasy XIV are the Pugilist, Archer, Thaumaturge, Lancer, Conjurer, Gladiator, Marauder, Arcanist. These are like your starting classes. When you're creating your character, you get to pick which one of these classes you want to be, right? Now, when you get to level 30 with any of these classes, you can actually change into a job. So, for instance, if you're the Pugilist at level 30, you become a monk. If you're the Archer at level 30, you become a Bard. And I know that particularly the Archer/Bard thing, it might be one thing where people are like, oh, but I just want to be an Archer. I don't really want to do this buffing thing. It's like, then you shouldn't be playing the Archer class because that's what it evolves to. You can't be a level 80 Archer. Well, I mean, technically you can, but you're probably not going to have a very good time. Then you have the Thaumaturge, which at level 30 becomes a Black Mage. Which is, I always thought that Thaumaturge had like a, I'm not a natural English speaker, so Thaumaturge to me always had like this almost medical tone to it. So I almost, when I first started playing Final Fantasy XIV, like at the very beginning, I used to think that just hearing the name Thaumaturge, because I never even looked at the class, I don't usually play too many casters, but hearing the name Thaumaturge, I used to think it was some kind of like a healer class or something. But anyway, Thaumaturges become Black Mages, Lancers become Dragoons, Conjurers become White Mages, Gladiators become Paladins. And this is another one of those cases where I think it can be confusing because like you see the symbol of the Gladiator and it's like two swords crossed. And you're kind of thinking like, oh yeah, dude, I want the dual wielding sword guy. That's not the Gladiator. I'm so sorry. But yeah, the Gladiators become Paladins, Marauders become Warriors, and then Arcanists are actually a little bit different because at level 30, they can become Scholars or Summoners. So whenever you reach level 30 in any of these classes, below your main scenario quest thing, it's going to show up a quest, and that particular quest is very important because it is going to unlock very important skills for your class. Like, to give you an idea, I'm going to put up on screen here the actions and abilities of the warrior. And if you notice, it's got two separations. It's got the class separation and the job. So the class is the abilities that you will get because you're a marauder. So your heavy swing, your maim, your berserk, your overpower, all the way down to Storm's Eye. You're going to get all of these abilities just for being a marauder. But unless you upgrade from a Marauder to a Warrior at level 30, I mean, you can upgrade at level 35 if you want. You can do this quest whenever, but ideally you want to do it at level 30. When you upgrade to your Warrior, then once you get to level 35, you get Inner Beast. Now, Inner Beast is going to become one of your most important class abilities for the Warrior because it gets upgraded into Fellcleave. And eventually at level 80, if you use Inner Beast after Infuriate, then it becomes Inner Chaos. And it's one of your hardest hitting abilities that you're going to have. So learning how Inner Beast kind of works becomes extremely important. You also are going to have access to your job gauge, which in the case of the Warrior is going to be the Beast gauge, which is going to be what allows you to do your Inner Beast. You're also going to get access to the follow-up AoE combo, which is the Mithril Tempest, the Steel Cyclone, which is kind of like the AoE version of Inner Beast, your Infuriate. Basically, all of these other skills, you're only going to get access to them after you convert to a Warrior. And like this, it works for all of the other classes. So if you don't change from a class into a job, essentially, once you get to level 50, you're not going to get any new abilities all the way up until level 80. So most definitely, when you get around level 30, start looking into at least getting your job done. And getting your job quest done. And then on top of it, you want to do it every so often whenever you're going through content. Because whenever you start doing these job quests and these class quests, you're also going to get new abilities, not just because you changed your job, but also there are certain abilities that are locked behind class quests, and you actually have to do those class quests in order to get access to those abilities, and a lot of the times those abilities are going to be pretty important for your class. Now, these are not all of the classes in the game, the ones that I just mentioned. There's also the Rogues. Now, the Rogues is a little bit different because you need to have a job at level 10 in order to become a Rogue. Any job will do. So if you want, like, be a Marauder, a Gladiator, a Conjurer, you can play whatever you want, play that class up to level 10, and then somewhere in Limbs of Lamenz, you'll find the quest to become a Rogue. And then the Rogue, once you get to level 30, can become a Ninja, which again, you do his job quest, you become a Ninja. And then there's also jobs that were added later in the game. So you can't start playing the game as these jobs, but as you hit certain level thresholds in your current job, you can change your job to these new jobs, which is, for instance, the Heavensward jobs are Machinist, Astrologian, and Dark Knight. And the requirements for you to be able to become these classes is you need to have your current job at level 50, and you need to be in Heavensward content. So this is a little bit confusing because it works differently depending on the expansion that you're at. But basically what this means is you need to completely finish the Realm Reborn quest line, and you need to get to the main capital city of Heavensward, which is Ishgard. Once you get to Ishgard and you have one job at level 50, then you'll be able to take on the quest to become a Machinist, Astrologian, or Dark Knight. Now, these already begin in their job, so they're not really the class, the base class. They're already a job, so it's not going to be like a major transition, but you should still do those job quests because they're still going to unlock key abilities for your characters. The other 4 classes are Red Mage and Samurai, and for these you need to own Stormblood. So if you're doing the free trial, you're not going to have access to the Red Mage or the Samurai. The only 3 additional classes that you have is the ones that I talked about earlier, the Machinist, Astrologian, and the Dark Knight. But yeah, for Red Mage and Samurai, you just need to be any job at level 50, and you need to own the Stormblood expansion. And then for the Dancer and the Gunbreaker, you need to have any job at level 60, and you need to own Shadowbringers. So that's pretty much how it works in order to which classes become what and what are the requirements for you to become a specific class. And yeah, and here's the other thing. Not only do you miss out on some of these key abilities if you don't do your job quests, but you're also missing out on your job storyline. Because you have your main scenario quest, which is the main story of the game, but each of the classes that you play have their own like mini story that you interact with certain characters, you get to see certain cutscenes and stuff like that. These are not really voice acted, but some of them are actually really good. Like one of the job quests that gets a lot of praise that I haven't really done yet is the Dark Knight quest. People love the Dark Knight quest because it was written by the same person that actually wrote the story of Shadowbringers, which, you know, as you can imagine, it means it's probably really good. Again, I haven't really seen it yet because I've been playing all of these other jobs. Personally, I also greatly enjoyed the Warrior quest line. I know that not everybody enjoys it. And then there's the Paladin. If you're playing the Paladin, then yeah, your job quest is just something that you kind of have to suffer through because it's not really very good. I'm sorry. But yeah, I guess the point of this video is just pay attention to the top left-hand side of your screen, and if a quest pops up under there, you really want to see if you can get that quest done to get additional abilities for your class, and that's going to make sure that if you're a tank, you're going to get like more survivability. If you're a healer, you're going to get access to a wider array of spells. Some of those will allow you to deal more damage. Others will allow you to heal people more efficiently. If you are a DPS, then you're going to be able to deal a lot more damage, and you're going to start unlocking like your actual job mechanics, which is going to be important for you to learn moving forward with your class. So remember, people, do your job quests, have some fun, enjoy Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you did not enjoy this video, hit the dislike button. Feedback is important. I'll see you guys on the next one. If you usually enjoy the content, subscribe, bell notification icon, all that jazz. Stay strong, stay safe, peace out.